Hey guys, welcome back to today's video. So today I'm going to be discussing products that I regret buying. I love watching these videos on YouTube. I think it's super helpful to know products that don't work as well as products that do work. So if you guys are interested in seeing the products that I regret buying, then just keep on watching. So this first product I have to mention is the Makeup Forever, what is this? Artist Shadow Palette in number 1. I actually got this off of Sephora, probably I would say like 5 or 6 months ago now. So now if you guys didn't know, Makeup Forever is an artistry brand and they actually do sell individual shadows that you can like create custom palettes with, but they did come out with like a couple of these like really nice artistry palettes where on the back it tells you like the shades that are in them, but it just lets you try out 9 of their artist shadows. So they are a little bit smaller than the ones that you would buy if you bought them individually, but I just think it's like a really nice layout. And this one is like the first one. It's just like the basic neutral palette. It does come with a mirror and everything, which is really nice, and I do really like the size of it. I think the size and like the packaging is just really well done. But the problem I have with this palette is the shades. So the shades themselves are beautiful. They're very kind of cool, but there's a little bit of warm in here too. There's a nice matte black, but other than the matte black, everything else is either a shimmer or metallic. So you can't really create an entire look with this palette is my only problem with it. I do reach for a lot of these shades often. I think that they're super pigmented, they're really buttery, they have a really unique formula. They're almost like a gel feeling in my opinion, like they're creamy, but they're, I don't know, it's just a very interesting formula. But I really wish that there were more transition colors or matte shades in here to really create an entire look. So it's not necessarily the product's bad because it's not at all. I just really wish it had the mattes to complete the palette. And for that reason, I don't travel with it because I feel like I need to bring another palette with me. But I did want to show you guys that the shadows themselves are really pigmented. They're really buttery and they blend really nicely. Again, I just wish that it had those mattes in the palette. Okay, moving right along, the next thing that I regret buying is the Modern Renaissance palette from Anastasia, or Anastasia, however you want to say it. If you want to be fancy and say Anastasia, I like Anastasia. I'm sure a lot of you guys are surprised to see this in this video because I know this is a favorite for many. It has nothing to do with the actual palette itself. The shades in here are beautiful, the formula is great. They are a little bit powdery, but I don't really mind that. For me, I think it's just the fact that it is so highly priced. This is, I think, a $42 palette, and I don't know if you guys know, but you can actually find an exact dupe for this palette on Hush.com, and it is the Royals palette by Bad Habit. This palette is literally an exact dupe for the Modern Renaissance palette, and it's at a fraction of the cost. I'm pretty sure this palette is $10 if I'm not mistaken, and it's literally the same shade range. The formula is just as good in my opinion, if not better. The fact that you could get 4 of these for the price of 1 of these is ridiculous, and I mean, I don't know. And you still get the mirror. I just think that it's worth it to save the money, and I kind of wish I didn't spend so much money on the actual palette itself. So if you guys have been wanting the Modern Renaissance palette but it's kind of expensive for you, then definitely check out Hush.com and find the Royals palette by Bad Habit. Like I said, it's just an exact dupe. You get the mirror, and the pan size is actually bigger on the Bad Habits one, so definitely check this out. Okay, next up we've got the e.l.f. Baked Highlighters. Now these have been around now for quite some time. So I have both Moonlight Pearl and then Blush Gems, and I've heard the whole thing with scraping the top layer off. I just never reach for these. I feel like they just don't compare to my other highlighters. They just don't give that like glow that I want. Like, I don't even think you can see them. They're just very subtle. There's nothing wrong with them. I mean, if you're into like a more subtle highlight, then you might really like these. But I feel like the fact that you have to scrape them off, and I don't know, I just never find myself reaching for these. I kind of wish that I didn't waste the $3 or $4 they are. Just because, again, I just never reach for them. I would much rather go and spend the money on like a Wet n Wild highlight, which is around the same price, but you get a lot more of like an intense glow on the skin. So I will say, so I kind of wish I just didn't even bother picking these up. They just kind of waste room in my collection. Okay, and then I have 2 lip products that I wanted to mention in today's video. So this first one is from Nars. It's one of their Nars So this is one of the Nars Audacious lipsticks in the shade Audrey. Long story short, I purchased this on the Sephora website because I was wanting to try out one of these lipsticks. If they have like the really cool magnetic cap, they were really hyped up about quite a while ago, and I was looking at the shades and I saw that one of them was named Audrey. I'm a big Audrey Hepburn person and I love the name Audrey. Hopefully it'll be my daughter's name one day. It looked like a really pretty statement red that I could just like kind of be my signature classic red, I figured, and keep in my purse. But when I received it, it's definitely not a red. It's more of like a, I don't know, like almost like a burgundy. It almost has more of like a pink purpley tone to it. It's definitely not like a true red. It's definitely definitely, I don't even know how to describe it. So it's definitely not a true red. It has almost like a pink undertone to it. On me, it just pulls very like pinky berryish, which is not really what I wanted. The formula is great. It's really creamy. It's pretty long lasting for a lipstick. The packaging is beautiful, but for I think it's $32 this lipstick is, which is insane. I can't even believe that I spent that much money on this. It just wasn't what I expected, I guess, and I expected a lot more from a $32 lipstick. I mean, the color's pretty, it's just not really what I wanted, and the formula's okay, but it's not like the best. So I kind of wish I didn't spend $32 on this lipstick. Okay, and then this next lipstick, I totally didn't even realize was still in my collection. I bought this, I would say 2 years ago or so. It's from Urban Decay, and it's their lipstick in the shade 1993. I think this is like the older packaging, which I do really like the packaging. I think the packaging is really nice. It has a nice weight to it. It just feels really expensive. But this shade is just not pretty, guys. Like, this was a really popular shade here on YouTube like 2 years ago or so. It's like that really deep, like brown nude Kylie Jenner lip that used to be really popular. But on me, this literally looks like there's poop on my lips. Like, it's just really gross looking. It's just not a pretty color. There's nothing flattering about it. It just looks brown. Like, it doesn't look cute. I've worn this like once since I've had it the past 2 years, and it just literally sits in my collection. Like I said, I totally forgot I even had it. I really wish I didn't spend the money on this. Okay, this next product is from Beauty Concepts. I picked this up at TJ Maxx. I was wanting to try out some of their makeup and see if it was any good. So this is their, I think it's just like their highlighting or contouring palette. You have some highlight colors and some bronzing and contour shades. So I'm actually wearing the contour on my face today, and then I'm also wearing this highlighter shade right here. I think I paid around $7 or $8 for it, so it wasn't like super expensive or anything like that. But the product itself is really chalky. It does not blend out that well. The highlighter's okay. I mean, it's showing up really nicely, but it definitely is more of a chunky, chalky consistency, so it doesn't sit nicely on the skin. It definitely emphasizes texture, and the packaging itself is really cheap. I just kind of wish that I would have spent $8 on something else, I guess. I don't know. It's not my favorite. I don't really reach for this very often. Okay, this next product is definitely one that I really wish I just didn't waste the money on. So this is the Urban Decay Troublemaker Mascara, and I'll be honest with you guys, the packaging is definitely what sold me. But this mascara literally does nothing for my lashes. It doesn't lengthen, it doesn't volumize. I will say that it separates. I find that the like bristles allow it to separate the lashes, but other than that, like there's something with the formula, it just doesn't really build up. It like gets clumpy. It's just not cute. Another thing that I found with this mascara is that it kind of dries down with like a glossy finish, and I don't really like the way that looks. I'm not really used to that. I'm used to like a matte mascara, I guess. Like, I just never really noticed that my mascara looked shiny until I wore this. And I just feel like the packaging is really pretty, but aside from that, the product is not. I really just don't like the wand, and I really wish I didn't spend the money on this. Okay, and then last but not least, I wanted to mention the Manizer Sisters palette. I think that's what it's called, from the Balm. And I purchased this mostly because I really wanted to try out Mary the Luminizer. I kind of just wish I had bought the actual Mary Luminizer itself, because I think I paid just as much. So I figured it'd be cool to like get the 3 of them to be able to play with, but I never reached for these 2 right here. So this is Betty Lou and Cindy Lou. This bronzer has shimmer in it, and it's like orangey, and it just is not cute. Then this blush over here doesn't really do very much. I find like it doesn't really have much color payoff to it. The highlighter itself is beautiful. I do really like the highlighter, but the other 2 I never reached for, so I just wish I had bought Mary Luminizer by itself and had like a bigger pan. So I just regret buying this like little trio in general, because I only reached for Mary Luminizer, and a lot of the times I don't reach for it because I just don't even think to, because of the other products, and I know I don't like them. So I do like how it's small and all of that, but I wish I didn't buy like the little set that it had. So that completes this product I regret buying video. If you guys enjoyed this, give this video a big thumbs up so I know to do more in the future. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!